Hey everybody, it's the coach. Welcome to the special Saturday edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see third-year quarterback Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans as they do battle with the reigning MVP of the National Football League, Patrick Mahomes, and the Kansas City Chiefs. With that, we're off to Arrowhead for the call from Kansas City. We'll hand it over to Brandon Gotton and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle with the Houston Texans. I'm Brandon Gotton along with Charles Davis. Charles, good matchup here. A couple of playoff teams from a season ago.
And just think about how the NFL works, partner. 8 teams that made the playoffs the year before didn't make it last season. So there's always going to be parity in this league, and guys have to be ready to go. Just because you made it the year before doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get back again.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Deshaun Watson leading out the Houston Texans, and CD, the thing for Deshaun so far this year, and the Texans now at 2-2 after that loss to Carolina, is the pressure that he's been facing. Week 4, sacked 6 times. He was hit 8 times in that game against the Panthers.
And that's been the way it's been for him since he was a rookie. Nothing's been different. Head coach Bill O'Brien implored his front office to help with that. And remember the trade for Laramie Tunsil right before the season began. So he's going to be a consistent left tackle for them. But all the lineup changes, everyone working into it, you need an offensive line to be together so they understand each other, have those nonverbal cues and block. And one other thing, Deshaun Watson, he's got to get rid of the ball a little bit quicker too, because he's one of those QBs who thinks he can always get out of trouble and always make a bigger play.
19 yards right off the bat and a quick first down. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Here we go, T. Here I come.
A shotgun snap for Watson. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
He's got Fuller. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. And let's take a look at the Texans offense.
Have no idea what they're putting in the food in the Martin household, but they've developed 2 terrific offensive linemen. Brother Zach, a perennial all-pro at guard with the Dallas Cowboys, but Nick, no slouch at center for the Houston Texans. He sets the tone for their offensive line. He's the pivot up front.
So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Back to throw, Watson. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you've got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Tyreek Hill back deep for Kansas City. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Always fun to see Kansas City's offense, and we get a chance to see him here in just a moment, led by that man Patrick Mahomes, who in Week 4 had, for Mahomes, what you would call a quiet day. Now, not for most quarterbacks would this be a quiet day. Still threw for 315, Charles, but no touchdowns.
And that's unusual because he came into that game 14 straight games with 2 or more touchdowns thrown. He was about to tie a record that had been set by Peyton Manning, but I think he grew as a quarterback in this one. I think without his best stuff, found a way to lead his team to a victory, and a key 4th and 8 late in this ball game. He used his legs to pick up that first down and continue their drive, which ultimately culminated in the game-winning touchdown.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. Bradley Roby there defensively. And quickly now, a look at the Kansas City offense.
In 2018, the Chiefs were looking for help in their offensive line, and they received it from guard Andrew Wiley, a formerly undrafted free agent. He settled in as a mainstay at guard and mauled people on the offensive line. They expect big things out of him in 2019 and beyond.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Here's Mahomes to throw. It's Kelsey on the grab. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. And a look now at the defense for Houston.
Many times as we open the game, we talk about guys who are drafted in the first round, but how about the undrafted players? In this case, safety Tashawn Gibson, who's made the most of his time in the NFL, becoming a starter in the league, and since 2012 has 20 interceptions, the most for undrafted players in that time frame.
This defense tightening up a bit. That last catch just 1 yard, making it 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Going to drop this off to McCoy, complete. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boy.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
On 4th down on is Dustin Colquitt to kick this away. DeAndre Carter's deep for the Texans. He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Houston's offense here working their way back onto the field, and a 16-10 loss in Week 4 that we talked about for them against Carolina. Now, look, the pass offense was not great, and we talked about how that might have been expected because they were going against a good Carolina pass defense. The running game, though, that took an uptick a little bit.
It certainly did. Remember, they lost Lamar Miller to injury during the preseason. He had been their workhorse. Acquired Carlos Hyde. He had 58 yards. Acquired Duke Johnson. He had 56 yards. That helped in a big way. Now, they missed their chance to sit alone at the top of the AFC South with that loss. And I know people are talking about their trip to face the Kansas City Chiefs in Arrowhead in 2 weeks. But they've got Atlanta next at home. I think that's a game they better focus on because Atlanta will come in at 1-3 and desperate for a victory. They will put everything into that game. But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Let's go, dude. Tighten up. Let's go.
Now a play fake, and it's Watson. And the Chiefs are going to get him.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast, and a big sack. The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And the Chiefs' D closes in on him again, and they drop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy is disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
Couple of plays sent him the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. From the gun, here's Watson. Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a 1st down.
Here's Brian Anger now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line.
You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
Kansas City's offense takes the field again here, and after that win last week against Detroit, now 25 straight regular season games that they have scored 26 points or more. That's an NFL record. But I'll just let you do the dissecting here. You saw that game in person. What did you learn about KC?
Learn that they are gritty, that they have a toughness about them that maybe some people question. Because you remember last year it was all about their defense. And in their 4 losses in the regular season last year, the defense gave up an average of 41 points per game. Well, it's been retooled, has a new coordinator, and they're playing a little bit better now. Now, Detroit rocked them early, but Kansas City, they got their legs back under them. And it was a heck of a battle and came up with a couple of nice stands that allowed their offense to do what they normally do, which is put points on the board.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Guys, out of time. Let's get off the field. Let's get off.
Lesean Mccoy, the 31-year-old running back, his first carry. And he'll get him a little space here up to the 5-yard line. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Now it's Sherman, the fullback. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City 1st.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
So a little breathing room now. 1st and 10 at the 17. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's got to the point where we see guys like that make that type of a catch. Not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed, and now they're acting like wide receivers too.
Yeah, tight end one-handed catches. They're kind of like wide receiver one-handed catches nowadays.
Just not right.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Big stop, D. Big stop. Let's go.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. 2nd quarter from Arrowhead. It's the Chiefs in possession as they've got it with a 2nd and 14 upcoming.
Fire down these two. 180. Go, Captain. Let's go. We got this.
Mahomes going to pull it out and keep it himself. And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about.
Offense.
Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. After the penalty, it's McCoy. And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. Benardrick McKinney there to make the stop.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
On third and long, it's Mahomes. That's complete to Robinson. And he's going to be stopped well short of what he needed as the tackle is made at the 18-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Here's Dustin Colquitt now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. On the return, Carter. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10. 4 yards on the dump off at second down.
Big set. 19. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
On second down, Johnson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 yards there, 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. They'll try the air now with Watson. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. They were searching for the tight end, Darren Fells. And that takes us from second to third down. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. He's going to look deep in zone for Hopkins. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Houston. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
And now here comes Kansas City. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line. Now Mahomes. Bernardrick McKinney muscled his way in for the sack. We've seen a couple of Super Bowls start 2-0. The first score of this game could have very easily been a safety. That was close there.
It was close, and while it didn't happen in this game, it's funny you bring up the Super Bowls, because that would have been, what, Super Bowl 46, Giants-Patriots.
You're testing my memory.
And also yeah. Super Bowl 48, which was Broncos-Seattle when the snap went over the head of the QB, and guess what? It was 2-zip Seattle right out of the gate.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. In his own end zone, it's Mahomes. And Mahomes is going to go down in the end zone, and that is going to be a safety. So after a scoreless first quarter, we at least finally get some points on the board.
But it can't be what either of us expected, can it?
No, the safety's not what you expect for the first points of the game, but one of the goose eggs is gone. So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. Here comes Carter.
All day, baby, let's go! Let's go!
We get a glance at Duke Johnson as he heads back out onto the field. And the good news, his team's winning. The bad news, he hasn't had the game that he's hoped to, at least to this point here in the second quarter.
And a lot of that is pride, because these types of backs want to be in the center of all the action and leading their team to victory. They'll take the win right now, hoping to jump his game up as this one moves on.
And he probably wants a little bit more of the spotlight going forward. Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. Out of the gun, Watson. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Throwing again is Watson. It's complete to Fuller. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
A gain of 10 brings up 3rd and inches.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A pickup of 11 and a Texans 1st down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime report.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do. And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Anthony Hitchens, second in the AFC in tackles last year, there to bring him down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
He finds his target, Fuller. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 35. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Watson. Fuller brings it in over the middle. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, 35 yards. And the Texans push further out in front. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. And this is good as they extend it out now to a 9-0 lead. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it results in the Texans finding the end zone. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. Inside of a minute left in the half, does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do or, I guess, don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
Mahomes now on first down. He finds McCoy, and he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Complete. The tight end, Kelsey. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. The Chiefs on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And this is caught by Watkins. And he gets this one just shy of the 40 to mark him down at the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now it's Mahomes again. Looking downfield for Kelsey. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 33 yards that time. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash, this from 45 yards away. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And they are on the board. It's now 9-3. Butker, what a pickup he's been for Kansas City the last 2 years. Remember, he was drafted by Carolina to be the eventual successor to Graham Gano. That didn't pan out. Casey got him as a free agent. He's been really good.
Yeah, Gano said, oh no, I'm keeping my job. But Butker found his home in Kansas City, a franchise record for points scored in his first 2 seasons.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look forward to as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at his 4. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there, just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. Mahomes now to throw. That's complete. It's Bell. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. And this is caught by Watkins. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
Now here's Mahomes. And Robinson with a big catch. Nice play for Kansas City, picking up the first 18 yards that time. Well, last year, Chris Conley was the 3rd option at receiver for Kansas City. He shipped off to Jacksonville. Now they're hoping that Robinson can help fill that void. And Andy Reid has said that he and Mahomes are developing a great rapport, hoping to improve upon the 22 times they connected last season. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. And again, it's Mahomes. Caught, Kelsey, left side. And he'll go out of bounds, making it all the way down to the 5. Mahomes finding his tight end Kelsey for a big one. 44 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. One man on the backfield. That's McCoy. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Defense doing their job, really nowhere to run the football.
Yeah, it's almost textbook, wasn't it? Every place he tried to find an open spot, there just wasn't one. Congrats to the defense, no gain.
Call fitting your gaps, right?
I love it. You're exactly right.
They'll try again with McCoy. And McCoy is in for a Chiefs touchdown. 5-yard touchdown run as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. They were able to stop him at the line on 1st down, but this time he punches his way through.
And sometimes just because you're stopped on the first run, it doesn't mean the play call was bad or incorrect. You might just need better execution and just a tad more determination, and they got it done on the 2nd try.
Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. And that one puts them on top here in the 3rd. That time a 6-play drive. And it ends with a Lesean Mccoy touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of 2 there, second down. They're having issues right now getting that running game going.
I wonder if maybe adopting some of the college run game would help here. Because we're still at that stage where you have a bunch of guys saying, I don't know about what the colleges do. And the college stuff is working in the NFL. Bigger line splits, create some more natural running lanes, might help the offensive linemen get better angles in their blocking schemes.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Check. 53's the mark. 53. Check 53.
Again, it's Johnson. And the Chiefs' D closes in on him again, and they drop him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
We've seen this a few times in this game. That offensive line just, I don't know if you want to call it out physical, out tough, whatever you want to use.
And what people do when that is happening, when they're getting dominated that way, they spread things out a little bit, make it more of a space game, and allow your skill position players to make a few plays out in open field. Take away the physical element, gives you a chance.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. He's got his tight end. It's Fells. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
Here's Brian Anger now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Out comes Patrick Mahomes in the Chiefs offense. He is looking to help his team build their lead after trailing at halftime. They've got to like the spot they're in right now.
They have to love it, but as you and I both know, cliche alert coming here. You're only as good as your last possession. But I think that they like, as you said, the spot they're in and how confidently they're playing at this point.
But again, just a 1-possession lead, looking to expand that now. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 22. To throw, it's Mahomes. Gets this one to Hill. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Give him 22 yards, and that's also where they snapped it from, the 22. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Here's Mahomes to throw. He's going to air one out. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Mahomes going to throw. Looking sideline, and that's caught by Watkins. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down.
A gain of 14 yards. That's good for Kansas City Chiefs. 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Mahomes now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, it's McCoy. And an alley to run. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Mahomes going to pull it out and keep it himself. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. From the shotgun, it's a give to McCoy. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And it's complete to Kelsey. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Now McCoy. And McCoy is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. Lesean Mccoy, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. Well, this offense only mustered 3 points in the first half on that field goal. They picked up the pace now. 2 third-quarter touchdowns.
Hey, you remember that appearance we had last week in front of that crowd, and they asked about halftime adjustments and all that was going on, and remember what I said. It's not always an adjustment at halftime. Sometimes just remembering the game plan and playing better, tuning it up and just working through it methodically. They got it done in this case.
Of course, I'll always remember that appearance because I had on a brown belt with black shoes, and you pointed that out in front of the crowd. So thanks for that.
I said that out loud?
You did.
Yeah, my bad.
So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it ends with a Lesean McCoy touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball...
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. 39 yards there. A big one.
A 39-yard gain on the play. First down, Houston.
And they won't be able to run another play. Time has expired. on this third quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. In 2018, Deshaun Watson had 5 fourth-quarter comebacks. Only Drew Brees of the Saints had more with 6. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. They'll roll him out right. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. The Mississippi State man, Chris Jones, with a sack there.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. To throw is Watson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively, because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Watson. Open man is QT, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 21 yards there on 3rd down.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way and get his head around to make a play on the football.
Watson now 11 of 16 through the air. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Watson. Open man, the tight end fails. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Now it's Watson rolling to his right. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the 4th quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
Now Watson. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Jordan Akins there to make the grab as they now sit just a 2-point conversion away from tying this game up in the 4th quarter. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself, no reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. They're going to try and run for it, but he is not going to make it. It's a big play by the defense, and they're going to hold on to their 2-point lead. And the failure to convert and tie the game, now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down 1. What's the sense? I like what they did.
for the touchdown. Here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And he will have a touchdown. This game, it's been defensively oriented on both sides, so I guess it stands to reason that the play of the game comes on defense.
So it's my kind of game. You know that.
That's right.
Anytime we have
That's
a
right.
defensive battle, but that, as you said, it stands to reason that's the way the game tilted. Someone had to make a big play, and the way the defenses were dominating, that's exactly what we got.
On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. And the lead is up to 5. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now Mahomes to try again after the pick six. He's going to loft one deep left side here. It's caught inside the 25. A big play there, Mahomes to Watkins. 55 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
So the field flips here as they'll go to work at the 20 now on 1st and 10.
We got to step it up.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Hey, fight on these two. Fight on these two. Let's go, Louie.
Throwing on 2nd down. Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the ground. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Williams. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Mahomes throwing on 4th. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And he's got it. Touchdown, Chiefs. Demarcus Robinson there to make the grab. And the Chiefs are going to jump back in front. Wow, talk about a big 4th down conversion for the score. Defensively, how do you let that happen?
I think you start with the offense, and you give them credit for going for it and having that kind of, well, let's face it, audacity. But defensively, I think you're right on target, partner. There's no way something like that's supposed to happen in that situation. You're supposed to be able to shut that down and get the ball back for your own team. Instead, they give up not just a big play, but a touchdown.
Throwing now is Mahomes. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. So they make the decision. They want a 3-point lead versus a 2-point lead, and they got it.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, it seems like the exact right thing to do. Put a little pressure on your defense, but the biggest thing now is you're making the other team chase you.
After the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. So Deshaun Watson in the offense. Down by a field goal, 2:10 on the clock. Plenty of time here. They've got 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning as they've got it 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. On 1st down, Watson. Got an open man, it's QT. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the 1st down.
Heady on that one, huh? Getting out of bounds before the 2-minute warning. They get an extra timeout, extra opportunity to move the ball downfield. Very smart football.
Watson now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Here's Watson. And it's incomplete. Johnson the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. Less than 2 to play with just a field goal separating these two sides. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They face a critical third down now, needing a score here in the late going. Finding fouls complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. He has been terrific today, hasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. Running flawless 2-minute drill right here. This has been quarterbacking 101 with a flourish.
First down now, but the clock continues to move. Now Watson. And he will find his man on the outside. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Alex Okafor in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. It's hurry-up mode time for the Texans, hustling up to the line. Watson. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Tyrann Mathieu, normally known for the pass coverage, this time a sack. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
Back to throw. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go. Took their shot at going for the win, didn't get it. Now bring on the field goal unit, tie this thing.
It's the right call. I truly believe that. But if I'm on defense, I'm also staying a little loose here in case they want to be really aggressive and fake it.
So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to potentially send us to overtime. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. So in the final minute, they turn it over to their kicker to get him back to even, and he does not disappoint.
Brandon, do you think the pressure ever gets to this guy? Because I sure don't. That was pretty smooth right there. But I tell you, he better not rest on his laurels, because there's a good chance they may need him again if this game goes to overtime.
So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll put it out to the 25. KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. A tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk-reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Mahomes to throw. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. The Clemson product, DJ Reader, got in for the sack. And we need overtime to decide this one after 4 quarters of play. We're all even. The extra session in a moment. This is the NFL on EA Sports. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
Let's go.
And now here comes Kansas City. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 26. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. It's complete to Robinson. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 34-yard line.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Mahomes is going to run the option left. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
And this is one of those plays that if you can use it to keep the chains moving, it's a good play. And not only that, it tends to tamp down the pass rushers because they have to recognize this play and stay at home. The quarterback uses it well. Read option, keeps it, and picks up a 1st down with some nice running.
Now a 1st down carry here for McCoy. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Moving backwards on 1st down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
Fight on these two. That's a line. Tight ends on the Lucy. Tight ends on the Lucy. 3 down.
On 2nd and 11 now. Mahomes, and this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. He went backwards 7 yards, setting up a tough 3rd down.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get that
they?
little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
Mahomes now to throw. He'll hit Watkins on the crossing route. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Well, I know you're toward the middle of the field here, but still, 4th down this distance, you got to punt it right.
That's definitely the first instinct because you say, okay, let's just play some field position, make sure we don't lose the game here, turn it over in a key spot. But if you feel really good about your trigger guy, if you feel great about him, you might want to leave the ball in his hands and let him work his magic.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now, on for a very important punt here in overtime. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. but they turned it back over to him, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part one is done, now part two. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. First throw in OT for Watson. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Duke Johnson, the one he was looking for. But it's going to be 2nd down. Keeping the aggression going on defense in overtime here, a 1st down blitz.
You know you can get burned on it big time if they pick it up. But in this situation, they brought the blitz, put some pressure on the QB, and he wasn't able to complete a pass downfield.
Throwing again is Watson. It's complete to Hopkins. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
He may try and run for this. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
Now how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Here's Brian Anger now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Set to take over, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. And after a rough start, as we take a peek at the numbers, he's going in the right direction now.
So often when you see a game start the way we saw this one start for him, you just wonder if he's got a chance to bring it back at all, and that's exactly what he's done. Love seeing that happen simply because you know a guy has struggled, and now he's found a way to make things better. That's pretty good stuff right there.
A run there on 1st down and a pretty good one at 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. Jonathan Joseph there for the tackle. This being their 2nd opportunity in overtime, 3rd overall drive, see if they can settle into a rhythm.
And that's what you're looking for. Get a few 1st downs, move the ball downfield, have some confidence, get yourself in a spot where you can at least kick a field goal to win it. But I tell you this, if I'm the play caller, I'm looking at that part of my sheet that says playmakers. Get the ball in their hands, critical situation, now's their time.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it, but a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it with McCoy. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. Run coverage, excellent there from the defensive end position.
How many times do we sit with coaches and they talk about a base defensive end, a guy who can anchor and play with leverage? We just saw a great example of it. And how about the bonus, tackling the runner for a loss?
Yellow, there's your line.
On 2nd down, it's McCoy. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. Lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And Robinson with a big catch. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. A gain of 26 on the third down conversion. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory, right at the 40. Mahomes going to pull it out and keep it himself. This is complete to Watkins on the slant. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
Receiver downfield, offense.
Now those linemen, of course, can't be more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call that on a couple of guys there.
Yellow. Come on, 80. Check 55 for Mike. I'm not ready.
McCoy. Give him a couple on the run there. It'll be 2nd and 13.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 13 at the 43-yard line.
Fight on these two. Fight on these two. 180. 65. 65.
Now on 2nd and 13. Mahomes complete. The tight end Kelsey. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. That's their 2nd and last timeout here in the overtime session. We'll be back. Everything right now resting on the right foot of Harrison Butker. And now the Texans want to call another timeout. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. Everything right now resting on the right foot of Harrison Butker. This to win it in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. And they have regained the lead. Now remember, this one is not over. But with the time running short here in this overtime, that could very well be the game winner.
Yeah, remember now, the other team does get a possession. But when the clock runs out, that's it. So that was a well-calculated drive to use up the majority of the clock and leave your opponent with little to no time left.
We were just treated to an absolute dandy in this one. A great finish in overtime with a long field goal. Everybody, including us, on the edge of their seats. Quite a game.
And it's rare that you get a game into overtime that it doesn't turn out to be a dandy, right? That's what we saw here. And just what you were talking about. A long field goal to win it, so definitely not a gimme. So there was tension all the way through until the ball went through the post.
But it did go through the post. Ice water was in his veins. That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. The Chiefs victorious here as we say so long from Arrowhead.